Hey guys, this is our spoiler-filled review on Logan. Spoiler-filled little analyses that we're going to be doing on the film itself. So let's just dive right into it. So, Juels, opening thoughts?
Opening.
Stupid.
Shit.
But anyway, like we were saying in our spoiler-free review, this is R-rated for a reason. There are so many guts and so much bloodshed.
I know you see people get sliced up left and right.
Like, there's actually there are a few decapitations. There's
a lot of people getting stabbed in the face,
limb dismemberment. I think I even saw this one guy get stabbed in the eyes.
Yeah, he did. And people getting cut in half.
All this other stuff. So, yeah, do not take your kids to see this. Even if they try to trick you, make sure that make sure to not let them out of your sight.
Yep.
Out of your sight, because if they want to watch an X-Men movie, just have them watch like one of the older ones.
Yeah.
Like one of the older ones, and just have them wait until they're old enough. That's just all I'm saying. But
that's all you're saying.
Hey, this isn't Dragon Ball. But so I guess we'll just start from the beginning of the film.
Okay, it starts with the intro credits.
Dude!
We said start at the beginning,
but
and I'm starting at the beginning. Is that not what you said?
Yeah, good point. Opening scene.
Okay,
opening scene.
Okay, it starts out black in his face.
Dude!
You said opening scene.
Okay, I'll take this over then. So,
Dick.
But so basically, whatever. So, essentially, this takes place in a, I don't recall, I forget if they say dystopian future or the near future, but essentially it's the year 2029, and mutants have they've either gone extinct or they've I think someone came up with a because basically this doctor guy is trying to rather than trying to destroy mutants, because he's the son of Stryker, the original guy that got Wolverine into the Weapon X program, and who basically fused the adamantium to his body, as we saw in X-Men Origins Wolverine and all those other films. But it's Stryker's son, and Stryker's son, basically who is also a scientist, has basically opened up this school where, well, actually no, it's not a school, it's a training facility, I guess you could say, where he takes all of these children and he basically gives them steroids, but he basically gives them mutant powers.
Yeah.
From a very young age. And so kind of similar to what they did with Wolverine, but not a whole lot. And in the midst of this, forwarding to 2029, basically all the X-Men have basically gone extinct. They've all been wiped out, and the only two that are left behind are Logan and Xavier, who is, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for Xavier in this film.
I know his mind is just deteriorating, and he's having epic mental seizures. Every time he has one, everything goes haywire. Like,
essentially, because I think someone even says that Xavier's brain is the most dangerous weapon on the planet.
It is.
Which would actually make a lot of sense, because if you think about it, in the other films, when Xavier would use his powers, it was basically unlike anything that we'd ever seen before. Like, there's a moment where he uses his powers, and I forget exactly what happens, but oh man, what is it? Like, okay, so for the entirety of the film, he's basically, I mean, Xavier is practically on his deathbed. He's practically he's practically on his deathbed, and Logan basically has to do drug deals in order to keep him alive, essentially, and to stop the seizures and to stop the seizures from happening. But in doing so, he gets mixed up with this woman and her daughter, although it's revealed that the daughter isn't really hers, and that the daughter is actually Wolverine's, which is kind of weird. Yeah,
technically she's not really his biologically. She just has his abilities and powers, so she's like his daughter.
Yeah. Essentially what happens is there's this evil guy. I don't think we ever learned his name. The guy that comes after Wolverine that has the robotic hand.
Yeah, I don't think they ever said his name.
But
it's irrelevant anyways.
Yeah. But so basically well, actually wait, no, there is one other mutant left, Caliban.
No, he was alive until he blew himself up.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if was he one of the originals? X-Men? Or
No, he worked for that guy with the robot hand until he turned against them.
Oh, right, yeah.
They didn't really explain why he left them, why he turned against them.
Yeah, I wish that they did it, like at least show us a flashback or something.
Yeah.
But there's this new mutant around called Caliban, and essentially his weakness is very fascinating to me because basically if he's exposed to the sun, he basically starts
It's because he's albino.
He basically starts dying.
He's albino. Albinos can't be in
Oh,
sunlight.
right.
It'll
oh, yeah, right. Which is why when you see him in the film, he's always wearing clothes.
Yeah, because the
like on his face, like over his face.
Yeah, because the sunlight burns him.
And so Caliban's power is that he's able to track other mutants, and the main villain again, I don't believe we're ever told his name. Basically takes Caliban and tracks down Logan and this girl who is actually X-23 from the comics, but she's actually given a actual name here, Laura. Yep. And so Laura basically has she's essentially she convinces well, actually, no, it's not her. It's the well, before she convinces him, Logan, it's the supposed mother, who convinces him who tries to convince him to take her to somewhere in North Dakota, which is practically, I believe it's somewhere on the Canadian border.
I believe so, yes.
I think. Although at first I thought North Dakota was in the U.S., but I don't know. But so, Logan's not buying any of it. Looks at some X-Men comic books, which I was really glad that they included it. By the way, I always love it when these types of movies address their source material like plainly, whether it be from a comic book or from like through an actual comic or through like a poster or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was a really nice touch. But essentially, so they take Laura to. They try to get Laura out to the border, but what happens is they end up being stopped by this family, and they help them out. And during their stay there,
they get found.
During their stay there, they get found by the main villain, and okay, this is something that completely threw us for a loop, and this is where we're going to get into the real spoilers of it, because essentially, I don't know if this was in the comics or not, but essentially, the son of Stryker has created has perfected Weapon X. Like, he's basically, I mean, I kind of had a theory about this going into it, because I was wondering all the way down to the theater, what if Wolverine has to fight himself in this film? Like, he's already struggling emotionally, but what if and physically, obviously, because his healing factor is waning, and as well as other factors that we'll get into later in this video. But what if he also had to fight himself, like literally fight himself, which he actually does? X-24, which is actually a perfected Wolverine. It's a younger, more agile Wolverine.
Except less actually speaking in brain function.
Yeah, because
and to answer your question, yes, what X-24 actually is in the
really?
comics. Yes, he really does exist in the comics.
Okay.
Instead of having 3 claws like actual Wolverine, he has 2 like X-23.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But so there's this. I believe he and Logan fight twice in the film.
Yeah.
And the first time, Logan just gets his butt handed to him. But I mean, you can kind of understand why, because like on one hand,
he's old and weak.
He's out of practice.
Yeah, he hasn't been cutting up people for a long time.
And as well as another factor that I'll get into later once we get to the climax of the film. But so Logan gets his butt kicked, and the only reason why he's saved is because the husband is because the father of the family, or when the husband of the family comes back and basically shoots X-24 in the head.
Well, first he rams him into a forklift or something. Then shoots him.
Then shoots him in the head, and he's about to do the same to Logan, but he collapses before he can.
He ran out of bullets. Then he collapses and dies.
Yeah, but effectively, Wolverine has basically been found out now, and the problem is during that whole thing, X-24 actually kills Xavier. He actually kills Xavier.
Yes.
And that honestly, because at first when that scene happened, because at first it seems like it's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
At first, but then when the real Logan shows up and it shows Xavier on the bed dead, we were both looking at each other and we were like, "Oh my gosh, that actually happened."
Professor Xavier's now dead.
Yeah. So Logan is really at this point in the film.
He's emotionally destroyed. That was the last person of the X-Men that he had left, and now everyone he knew and loved is now gone.
Yeah, now he is the only one left.
He has nothing left to live. He has nothing left to live for. His original goal was before all he knew he was gonna get wrapped up in all this mess. He was gonna buy a boat, take him and Charles to live out on seas. Then he was gonna shoot himself with an adamantium bullet in the head. To
end it all, because he's basically lost everything that he ever cared about.
Yeah, he has nothing left. He can't. He doesn't want to continue on living, so he decided suicide. Now, obviously that didn't happen because they never got the boat or anything. Yeah, because all his plans got derailed.
Yeah, but Logan is the only one left now, and Laura convinces him to take him. Convinces him to take her over the border, and they meet all of these kids. And little side note, the compound that we were talking about, that gave X-23 those 2 claws, also experimented on quite possibly hundreds of children. From infancy.
But we only see like a few of them.
Well, yeah, but it's implied that they've studied, that they've experimented on hundreds of children from near infancy.
Yeah.
We actually meet a lot of them here. They were like maybe 15 or 20 kids.
Some of them older, some of them like almost in their teen years.
Yeah.
And some of them a little bit younger.
Yeah, so Wolverine is like, "Look, I got you here. I'm just gonna leave."
And she's like,
"Where are you going to go?"
Yeah, like, well, I thought you were gonna stay with me the entire journey. But Logan's like, "I can't. Wherever I go, whoever I meet, and make bad." He literally said with his own lips, "Bad things always happen to those I care about." So that way he's saying he does care about X-23 or Laura, as they call her.
The problem is...
He's just afraid something terrible will happen to her if he sticks around. So he just wants to leave so no harm comes to her.
Which is kind of the noble thing to do.
Yeah, but she sees it as a bad thing. Like, oh, you're just running away. You're abandoning me like you abandoned Charles.
Yeah, and
she views Logan as a coward, just running away.
So they get found again, and this actually leads into the film's climax.
Climax. Logan, still weak and beaten up, tries to go and save the kids from being recaptured and possibly executed. So he takes this green serum that the kids gave him, but they told him not to take it all at once. But he has no choice but to take it all at once
because he doesn't have because
he just doesn't have the strength to fight them all by himself. So what he does is he injects himself with all of it all at once, then charges full speed into heat of battle one last time in a blaze of glory, just tearing up. Which was pretty awesome.
It was amazing.
He's just tearing up guys left and right. You see blood splattering everywhere. And some of the children actually use their powers to...
Oh yeah, like, there was some really interesting ones used, like, Juels and I actually thought that, that at one point we actually saw a kid earthbending from Avatar, doing earthbending from Avatar The Last Airbender.
Yeah, she freaking made a dude explode.
Like, basically, she puts her hands out like this, the guy's hovering in the air, twists around, and then it's like, boom everywhere. Boom everywhere, and it's like...
Dude chunked everywhere.
And like and like the entire time we were practically going like this in the theater and possibly disturbing everyone around us.
Pwnage fatality.
But okay, so getting back into Logan territory, at least in terms of his character. So okay, the reason why Logan had to take the green serum was mainly because of a plot device that I really didn't see coming.
Yeah.
They basically pulled the same thing that Iron Man 2 did, where basically, because if you guys recall from that film, well, if you guys have even seen it, the palladium in Tony's arc reactor, is also killing him. It's slowly killing him.
So the adamantium in Logan's body is slowly killing him too.
It's poisoning him. The only difference is Tony can do something about it, Wolverine can't.
Yes, because Tony can just replace the arc reactor with something that will stabilize his system and keep him alive with no negative repercussions or side effects.
Logan can't.
Yeah, Logan does not have that luxury.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He can't. He cannot get rid of that.
Well, I know that, but like, I mean, there is a doctor in the film that does suggest treatment, so I'm wondering what could have been done.
They would have to remove his skeleton, which would kill him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So really, he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, there's nothing they could do.
And
during the whole fight, that's when X-24 gets taken out again, because Logan has already chopped up so many guys. The serum's starting to wear off. He's starting to get sluggish. Like, it's wearing off. I gotta end this quickly. And then he shoots Stryker's son, killing him. Shooting the other dude's robotic hand off.
Which was actually really funny.
Yeah. So Logan's like stumbling, like slowly walking over to try to get that guy so he can stab him up. He releases X-24, and then they go for their next battle.
Because, okay, here's the thing. Because throughout that entire fight, I always wondered one thing. What would have happened if... Okay. So, you know when Logan takes the gun... Again, I'm not really sure how he got the gun. I mean, maybe he picked it off from one of the enemy soldiers.
Probably.
But, what would have happened if, instead of shooting the guy's arm off, he just shot him in the head?
Yeah, then
X-24 wouldn't have been released, and...
Yeah, but X-24 probably would have overheard the commotion, cut himself out.
Yeah, that's true. But, X-24 is released, and the final battle between him and Logan begins, and Logan just gets freaking wailed on. Yeah, I mean, he gets... Okay.
Because he can't fight back because the serum wore off, and he's all... he took too much damage, and he's all weak. So he's just slicing him up, stabbing him, throwing him around like he's a rag doll.
Throwing him around, Logan actually tries to... Was it a door?
Yeah, a door to try to decapitate him.
So he basically tries to go like this to him, like
X-23 pull out his claw, slices the door, and kicks Logan off of him.
But I think that's only after he sees the doctor's dead body, because the Okay. Great. Now I'm about to turn this into a Doctor Who thing. But the son of Stryker was the only thing that kept X-24 on a leash, so to speak,
and kept him
in line. And without that anchor, he's basically just pure rage. It's like the Hulk without Bruce Banner in his body.
Yeah, so he starts attacking Logan. The kids all get up on the guy with the robotic hand and just they all brutalize him. They tortured him.
This
tortured
guy,
him to death.
The entire time that scene was happening, in my mind, I was like this. Like that, it's like...
Yeah, they tortured his
I
ass.
know, it's like, okay, that was
Overkill.
the most over-the-top way to kill somebody.
No,
like,
I mean, he deserved it, too, for what he did to them.
Well, yeah, of course, but I don't know if you could call it a Deus Ex Machina, but, because earlier on in the film, Wolverine Logan, my bad, mentions that he's kept an adamantium bullet all this time because, like Jules said, he'd planned to commit suicide, and that was actually where he says to Laura flat out, I was gonna shoot myself, and so oh my gosh, this is where Jules and I actually started crying, legit crying, because wait, no, not yet, but wait, go on ahead.
Okay, because Wolverine's basically can't take any more punishment.
He's getting demolished. I mean, there's this part of it where, okay, not only do you see blood and guts like on his chest, but there's
everywhere else too,
and not just everywhere else, but he gets impaled. He gets freaking impaled.
Yeah, because X-23 stabbed him in the shoulder with his claw, dragged him knocked over to a cut down tree, and just impaled him right on one of the roots that was sticking out. And Laura was just looking in horror and shock. She picks up the gun that Logan dropped, puts the adamantium, empties out all the bullets and puts the adamantium one in, and then boom, shoots X-24's brains out, thus killing him. But she cuts Logan down, but there's nothing she can do. He says his final words of wisdom to her, and then he takes his final breath.
Then he passes on, and honestly, that was the part where we were both tearing up, because I've seen a lot of bloody and gory stuff, but to see it in a Wolverine film was just friggin'
epic.
It was. I've read the comics and I've seen how bloody they can be, but to just see them in motion, is like a whole other story. Because, oh my gosh, and
as Logan lay there dying, and he takes his final breath, Laura actually refers to him as Daddy, like she sees him as a father, that she always wished she had gotten, and after she finally did, she loses him at a young age, and
they actually there's actually a little burial scene for Logan where they where the kids, I guess the kids dug a grave for him or something like that,
and then buried him.
And at first they put a cross at the start of it, but
Laura recites the words that Logan had previously said to her. Then once the kids were leaving, she takes the cross down and turns it into an X,
because to symbolize the end of the Weapon X program, essentially.
Yes, Weapon X had been terminated.
At least someone else comes along and starts it up again, but still.
Yeah, but and that's where it ends. Laura is free. Weapon X is no more. Logan's dead.
Xavier's dead, practically.
All the X-Men are dead. Well, they're reunited in heaven now.
They're in the X mansion up in the sky.
Yep. He's reunited, and for once in his afterlife, Logan is finally at peace. He's finally been laid to rest, like he always wanted.
Because the thing is, a lot of people before this film came out, they were all up in arms because apparently actually no, it was after this came out, a lot of people were saying that in the last Wolverine film, The Wolverine, there was a deleted scene in which Wolverine, I believe he goes into this room and he opens up a briefcase, and in the briefcase it's the classic Wolverine costume, from the comics that we all know and love. The thing is, nowhere, a lot of people were thinking that he was going to wear it, but to be honest, I don't really think it matters if he does wear it or not, because if you think about it, this is one actor's take on a character. The next character who plays Wolverine could possibly, the next actor that plays Wolverine could possibly wear it. Although, granted, they'd have to come up with a way to bring him back to life. Although I have a perfect way to do it though in mind.
Infinity Wars?
Possibly. Because Infinity War involves all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's characters, which and the X-Men play a really big part in that storyline, and Doctor Strange, in that storyline, I believe, can actually manipulate time and space. So theoretically, he could go back in time and save Logan.
Yeah, but Logan would most likely not want to be saved. He would want his death to come.
That's true.
Unless there's something he has.
Yeah.
He knows there's something worth for him to fight for. If that was something for Logan to fight for,
there's no reason for him to go on.
Yeah, he would have no purpose, and he basically would want death to take him.
Yeah.
He would want to die unless there's something he has to fight for.
But yeah, honestly, this is the end of Hugh Jackman's career as Wolverine, and we salute you.
We salute you, Hugh Jackman.
Thank you so much for what you've done if you're watching this. Like I said before in the spoiler-free review that we did earlier,
you were a huge inspiration to superhero film genres everywhere.
And you've practically inspired an entire generation of kids, us included. So 20th Century Fox, Marvel, Mr. Jackman, thank you for all you've done. And X-Men fans and superhero fans everywhere will never forget your contributions.
From all of us to you, we thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you all. Anyway, let us know what you guys thought of the film in general, and what your thoughts are about Infinity War, because there was a well, it wasn't a teaser, but it was a behind the scenes little clip that was played on the set the first day of shooting, and they were going over why they did Civil War when they did it, stuff like that, a little bit of the production, and stuff. And we still have about a year to wait for Infinity War to come out. But to be honest, if they could pull off Civil War like they did, what's stopping them from doing Infinity War even better?
Right, yeah.
But yeah, guys, so let us know what you thought about Logan in general, what your favorite Hugh Jackman Wolverine moment is, and what your thoughts are on the future of the X-Men franchise, as well as your thoughts on what Infinity War has in store. Anyway, see you guys later. God bless. See ya.
Bye. Dragon throw out.